got it powered up. Hey man, if you buy 265, 270, powder is not optional. It is not up for debate. It's not up for discussion. If you are 265 or more, powder is a mandatory part of the shower. It is. It's just, ain't no way around it.
You're not 265. You trying to be big.
Hey.
You about 240.
And on a, without no clothes on.
Oh.
With clothes on, I'm 265.
Good morning, Miss Laura.
Top of the morning.
Good morning, Chandrika. Good morning, Jerome. Good morning, Rob. Good morning, Anthony.
JD, what up?
Good morning. So y'all are
This is why I'm hot.
wide awoke and bushy tail this morning, huh?
This is why I'm hot. That's why I play, because I know if not that you don't know it. This is why I'm hot. 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 This is why I'm hot.
What's the other part?
Mad cause you ain't, you mad cause you not. This is why I'm hot. This is why.
It's so silly. Hey y'all, good morning. Good morning, Facebook Live and Periscope. We thank y'all for joining us this morning, for jumping on so quickly. Thank y'all. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Tony.
I think James on here. James on there? Well, bow. That's
I don't
okay.
think he is yet.
I thought I seen his name.
Good
Chandrika,
morning,
what up?
morning.
Kathy, what up? Miss Figures, good morning. Long time no see. Yeah.
Hi, Kathy. Good morning.
You wonderfully wonderful, beautiful people. Hey, go ahead and share it right now. Right now, while you thinking about it, before you forget. Go ahead and share it right now. Go on, put it in the atmosphere. Let everybody know the Marriage Builders are live and in full effect. Hey, you know what I realized too? It's a lot of people that watch that, but they watch it on the low.
Yeah. We be out in public and
Yeah.
people be like,
I like what y'all doing.
What y'all do in the mornings, and we be like, okay, thank you.
Right
Hi.
Right
Never
on.
seen you before, but hi.
I ain't even much know you. All right then, right on.
Thank y'all for sharing already.
Straight up.
So much. Thank y'all.
Hey, this week is gonna be a good week. It's all about the kids week.
All about the kids.
All about the kids, man. All about the kids. Ronnie love the kids. I do.
Some people think you don't love the kids because he's so mean to them.
Yeah. That's my love language to kids.
Mean to be mean. Oh wow. Okay.
It is. It's the truth.
Well, good morning, y'all.
Drink
This
some of
week
your
is
water.
all about the kids week. You know, we talk a lot about, being married and, how you should be in your relationship and even friendships and family relationships. But this morning and this week, we want to talk about the kids. We have a bunch of, a series of topics for the next 4 days, that we're on. And we just want to talk about the kids.
I love the kids.
The kids need love too.
I love the kids.
But this morning we're talking about blending families.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you need to share that because it got a whole lot of blended. And dog, what up? Got a whole lot of blended families in this camp.
In a perfect world, your mate will be the one and only person that you had kids with.
Yes.
You in a perfect world, your spouse or the person that you say this is the one wouldn't have touched nobody else before you.
Yes.
And then when the first kid is produced, it is y'all's kid.
Yes.
In a perfect world.
Yes.
Unfortunately, we do not live in that
we
perfect
have
world.
not found that earth as of yet.
There are some people who get into relationships and they have kids together. They don't have any outside kids, and it's just a role.
Beautiful thing.
But for those of us that didn't have that opportunity, that's what we're talking about this morning.
Yeah, man.
So if you don't know, and there's a lot of people that don't know and really can't tell, I met Pastor Ronnie when I first got pregnant with Jamarlin. And in the first week after meeting him, or 2 weeks after meeting him, I had to deliver the news to him that I was pregnant with child. And so when I told him that, I didn't want to tell him because it was like, okay,
I was fine,
he's not going to want to be my friend. He's not going to want because
I was fine, and she wanted me, and she was like, "Man, that ain't gonna work. This dude finna roll."
I was absolutely.
Yeah. I was fine as the first part though.
Well,
okay, that's fine in my mind.
But in my mind, I'm like, okay, if I tell this dude I'm pregnant and it's not for him, he's gonna be like, you know what? That's what I'm talking about with you females. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, at that time I probably wouldn't have said female because I wasn't walking with the Lord like I am now.
He was absolutely not. 15 years ago, he was not.
Nah, it was pretty bad.
But when I told him I told you over the phone, and the initial reaction was, wow.
Yeah.
You know, and so we hung up the phone and I'm like, okay, it's over with. And then a few hours later, he come knocking on my door with a bouquet of roses. And mind you, this is like 2 weeks after we met.
Yeah.
You know, so he come knocking on my door with a bouquet of roses and he was like, you know, whatever you want to do, I'm rolling with you. You know, because in the initial conversation, I told him that, you know, I needed to try to make it work with my baby daddy, but he had already kind of understood what was going on.
Yeah.
You know, but he came to my room with the roses and he was like, you know, whatever you want to try, whatever you want to do, I'm rolling with you. We friends, we cool, you know, you cool, you think I'm cool, so we're going to be friends. And that's where it started.
Yeah.
We became friends and that attracted me to him even more.
Yeah.
But
I mean, the fact that I was fine helped too.
I did try to make it work with the father of my child, but it just didn't work out.
Yeah.
So
and it's not a slight. It's not a slight knock on him. God bless him too. Yeah.
But it didn't work, and so we ended up together. But we said all that to say we have what people call a blended family.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And one of my fears, because I was a product of a blended family, was I was fearful that my child would not be accepted. I knew what I went through being in a blended family. I felt like I was disciplined a whole lot more than my sisters. I felt like I got the brute. You know, I was the oldest too.
Yeah.
You know, and so I there were things that I felt that I wanted to make sure didn't happen with my own child.
Absolutely.
And so that was the one thing that me and him had to communicate about. If I felt he was going too far with the discipline, or I felt that, you know, it was just too much, you know what I'm saying? We would have that conversation.
Absolutely.
But when you have a blended family, that's the one thing that you have to have. You have to have communication, which means conversation. You know what I'm saying? If something is bothering you about the way that your mate is dealing with your child, or the way even that your child is dealing with your mate, you have to have those conversations. Keep the lines of communication open, because the lines can easily get blurred.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When it comes to that, there was a time, this is just my truth, where he was disciplining Jamarlin, and I got angry, and I was like, you know, you doing that because he not yours.
Yeah.
I did. You know what I'm saying? And it came out before I even could think about it.
And I snapped.
He did. He snapped at me, and I was like, whoa.
Because to me, I mean, hey man, I've basically been raising my son since he came from the hospital, basically. And when she said it, it was all it literally, to me, it is like saying my child ain't my child. No different than my baby son or my daughter. It's the equivalent of that to me, because that's my son.
Yeah.
You know, I done went through it all. I done went to the emergency room and did and did the emergency treatment for breathing and all the stuff that come along with being. I was there, and so, but we said we're doing this topic because there are a lot of families that are blended that are struggling.
Yes.
And we've seen blended family done wrong, and we've seen blended family done right. Yes. We've been a part of blended family done wrong, and we've been a part of blended family done right in some cases. It wasn't all bad, but it wasn't all good. Mm-hmm. I think the best example that I had of a blended family was my Aunt Bebe and my Uncle Drew. Mm-hmm. From the gate, from the very start, they automatically understood that these are all our children.
Yes.
Yes, they may have fathers from another place. Yes, they may have a mother from another place and all that stuff. But when we get under this roof, these are all our children. Mm-hmm. And everybody got treated as such. I think that is the major thing when it comes to a blended family or anything along those lines. Those kids have to unequivocally feel like there's no difference between the two.
Yeah.
And it's one of the things that even now, man, with some of the fellas at the church, even with some of the women at the church, I try to make that point known. Those kids have to unequivocally feel like there is no distinction between them and maybe the kids that you guys might have had together. There is no difference. It's the same love. It's the same time. It's the same patience. It's the same everything. Yeah. And if you don't establish that, if you don't put that in the forefront, I can guarantee, man, that blended family is doomed to fail. Yeah. I've seen blended family done so right, man, that you couldn't tell that child that man or that woman was not their mother or not their father. Mm-hmm. Period. Because of the way it was done, because of the way it was handled, because of the love language, because it was organically felt. I wouldn't say nothing to you that I wouldn't say to them. And it has to get to a point like for a lot of people, they wouldn't know that Jamarlin wasn't my birth son unless I told them. Mm-hmm. Literally, like.
But even with Jamarlin, you can't tell Jamarlin that he's
not at all, not at all. And if anybody tried it, we got a problem.
Jamarlin has met his biological father when he was younger. When we were in Shreveport, and then we moved away to Japan and to Arizona. Yeah. But you can't tell Jamarlin that Pastor is not his dad. Yeah. Even with and Pastor Ryan is a strict disciplinarian. Even through the discipline and this, that, and the third, Jamarlin still holds him in that position as father. Yeah. And that's how it should be in a blended family. I would not have it no other way. And he knew that if I felt any type of way, this could not work.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Because that is my child, and he's not going anywhere. Until he's 18, then he gotta go.
Yeah. Well, that's the rule for all of them. 18. Richard Nixon.
In my opinion, when it comes to blended families, if that child is, if that child should feel like if the mother and father are both with two different people, they should feel like they have four strong parents.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? 4 strong parents on the same page, raising them and going in the same direction. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't be, well, I get to go to daddy's house and I get to do this over here because him and his wife allow me to do this, and then I go over here to mama's house and then I get to do this, because now you're raising a confused child.
Absolutely.
And they're going to feel like they can go places and just do different things. You know what I'm saying? And it be okay.
Yeah.
Tanisha said that's good. Being in that position, I can say that it takes work and lots of compassion.
It absolutely does.
And love. And she said, and love.
Yeah.
Miss Laura said they don't leave.
Yeah. She been on that since Sunday.
Good morning, Tiffany.
Yeah, but I mean, it's one of the things you have to be very mindful. And to be 100% honest with you, it starts here.
It does.
It starts with a great foundation. It starts with great communication. It starts with great understanding.
It starts with adults being adults.
Absolutely, man.
Because we have a lot of adults with kids that are still kids.
As pawns. They chess pieces in a big old game and all that stuff. Man, the kids don't have a right. Mm-hmm. They didn't ask to come here. That wasn't their fault. They didn't lay down with whoever and make whoever. And in a lot of cases, because they don't have your character traits in a lot of cases, sometimes it poses a problem. But one thing that I have learned is love conquers and solves all.
Yes.
Period. There's no other way around it. There's no other way to explain it. Real, genuine love. When that child feels love, as hard as I am on all 3 of my kids, man, I am the number 1 cheerleader. I am the loudest dude in the football stands. I'm the loudest dude at whatever. Because they are my children.
You're the number 2 cheerleader. I'm the number 1 cheerleader. You're the number 1 loudest person in the stands because I can't get that loud.
Yeah.
I just had to clarify that. Just
saying. Yeah. Anywho. No, because we have a lot of families in our church that are blended.
Yes.
We got a lot of friends that have blended families. We got
it's like that's almost the makeup of the world that we live in.
In some cases,
like a lot of homes are blended families.
Yeah, but you gotta have some parameters. You gotta have some, and the things that we fail to talk about are a lot of times the things that will hold back or hinder a marriage or hinder a relationship. Mm-hmm. And you have to really get a good grasp and a good feeling, a good understanding of being a part of a blended family. Again, it starts right here. It starts with great communication. You got to ask this person that came in with the child, okay, just how much or how far can I go? Because you have to release the reins.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times when it comes to blended families, it's like, okay, you can pay for the child, you can buy the child clothes, you can keep a roof over their head, but you better not tell them nothing. Oh, you better not discipline. Don't tell them nothing. Now that's my child.
You know what? And even in that case, when it came to my son, because of the way that I felt, he had to earn my trust when it came to rearing him. And a lot of people don't feel like that's right, but you know what I'm saying? Because of what I had been through in my past when it came to blended families, there was a little fear there. And I'm going to be honest.
You got to be sensitive.
I was a little fearful about,
real.
Him being reared in a way that was, you're taking him, the adult taking their anger out on my child, because that's the way I felt as a child.
Yeah.
But he had to kind of earn my trust. It didn't take long.
Yeah.
Some people it takes longer than others because I knew his heart. You know what I'm saying? And I could tell there were times when when we were dating, we would break up, but he would still come and get Jamarla.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
And dating. I was like, man, because to me,
married till Jamarla was 3.
Yeah, and to me, it was just one of them things. He didn't have anything to do with that.
Yes.
We couldn't work it out. We couldn't get it together. That wasn't his fault. Yes. And by that time, he especially at that time, he was really looking at me like I was his dad. Mm-hmm. And I know what that feel like, and I know what that feels like to have somebody that just want to be with your mama. Mm-hmm. That you just part of it. You were just a throw in, yeah. Mm-hmm. So I know what that feel like, man. So I always say to myself, I never wanted that to be the case. If I had gotten a relationship where somebody already had a child, I wouldn't want that to be the case. Mm-hmm. And so I would. I still could get him, and it would be crazy. I was the definition of a stepdad because I stayed on the step. I didn't even.
He didn't cross the threshold.
No, I didn't. Hey, I'm just coming to get his haircut.
That was the funniest thing ever because I didn't expect for him to come and still take Jamarla to get his haircut.
Yeah.
He had just started getting his haircut after they cut my baby hair when I was overseas.
Long story.
My baby had some beautiful hair.
Yeah, I got tired of people saying this. Oh, man, your daughter's so cute.
Come back.
No.
But they cut his hair while I was
I'm gonna want to
gone.
pull the pimp off.
And we had got into a little argument. Now, not altercation because we don't.
Nah.
But we got into a little argument, and he left angrily, and I slammed the door. And then a few hours later, he come knocking on the door, talking about, "I'm just coming to get Jamarla to
go get his haircut." Because the responsibility is still responsibility. And I know it sounds crazy, but that's just me. I think like that. I'm like, okay, well, I put this over here.
Yes.
Boy, this still my son, so I still got to go. I got to take care of what I got to take care of. So, but I'm saying, man, it starts with communication. You gotta like I had to build up equity and let her know I love him just as much, if not more, than I care for him the same way. And it made it easier. It made our lives easier. It made marriage easier. I can honestly say my mother and my sisters, they accepted him and all that. Everything.
From the jump.
Yeah. And so
it was so funny because when he brought me, Jamarla was maybe a few months old.
Yeah.
When he brought me to meet his mom and his sisters and Lauren and Kawana, I met everybody at that time. And when I got out the car and they said, "Hey" to me, and they took my child and went in the house. And
like, what up, big dog?
I'm standing there like, wait.
Yeah, hey.
Did my baby just get kidnapped?
Yeah. But it was an acceptance that came along with that, because I think my whole family, we all understood what that felt like, and so we always embraced it. And so, but it starts with communication. It starts with building equity, and again, and it has to be also too. It has to be a united front. Absolutely. In the sense of, these are our kids, and we are the parents of. No, I don't care how they got here, but they're under this roof. We are the disciplinarians. We are the for lack of a better way of putting it, dictators. We are the ones that make sure everything is straight. So we have to make sure that we good, because we don't want the kids, any one of them, we don't even want the kids amongst each other to feel like, well, you just my step.
Yeah. they shouldn't feel like an outsider in the family.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? We see the movies. We probably even seen it in real life when the kid just like the rest of the family with the kids that they have together is over here, and then the other kid is just in the corner, like
Absolutely.
or in the room playing video games by themselves, like.
Yeah, because I mean, like even with my Uncle Drew, like I got a cousin, my cousin Rob Mills. But like my Uncle Drew was just he was just always the guy that like, man, if I say you're my son, then that's just what it is. Period. Point blank. End of discussion. Don't matter what's going on over here. Don't matter what's going on over there. I've made this commitment, and it's almost like we in covenant.
Yes.
Like, and you don't get death ends covenant, and in a lot of cases, even in death, it's still the same. You know what I mean?
Death.
So, yeah, death. DEAF. Now, don't put no TH on it. Y'all know what I meant. All these English majors around here, proofreaders.
But absolutely,
yeah, you gotta be mindful of that. We talk about this when we do premarital counseling. We talk about blended families and having these communications. And here's another thing too: you have to make sure when it comes to blending a family that if you are the quote unquote step parent, that you have a relationship with that child outside of the mother or the father, however that works. You gotta have your own established relationship that they know without a doubt, under no false pretenses at all, that I got your back. I committed to you.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't just commit to this marriage. I didn't just commit to your mother, but I committed to you.
Yeah. I was watching. I don't watch it that often, but I was watching Real Housewives of Atlanta, and it was the episode where, Cynthia and her husband. What is his face? Cynthia and whatever her husband is. Cynthia and her husband got a divorce, and she has a daughter, and she hadn't seen him since they had separated. The daughter hadn't seen him since they had separated, so they got together and had a date, where they went to the gym and worked out. And at the end of the scene or whatever, she was saying to him, you were married to my mom, but when you left her, I felt like you left me too.
Yeah, absolutely.
And she was crying, but she had her own relationship with him.
Absolutely.
They had a blended family. Her dad is the actor Leon.
Yeah.
But she had her own relationship with her stepfather, and she felt so horrible that he just left her too. She felt like he dropped her too.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And that made that concept real to me watching that.
Yeah.
So we have to be careful, when you make your own relationship with the child, but if it don't go right with you and your spouse, make sure that you don't drop that child, because that could leave an emotional scar that it could be hard for that child to bounce back from.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? It could lead it's seeds of rejection being planted in that child.
Yeah.
And they can grow up to be an adult who
because it's a double whammy
they
in
can
some
grow
cases.
up to be an adult with the rejection issues. You know what I'm saying? So, and it takes a lot to come back from that stuff.
It takes a whole lot. But you gotta, like I said, you gotta be mindful. I think that's very, 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 very important, that as the, again, quote unquote step parent, you establish a relationship with that child apart from the marriage, apart from the mother or whatever, that they know without a doubt, man, that you got me. When I said I do, that means not only did I say I got y'all. We all in this thing
they're
together.
Not left to feel like you only deal with me because of my mom.
Yeah, absolutely. I know what that feel like, man.
Yeah.
I literally know what that feel like. And so we do everything that we can to make sure that that's not the case.
Yes.
So again, man, it's that whole when it comes to that blended thing, it's a lot of different factors, because I know we're gonna talk about, and I might just touch on it a little bit today. When it comes to the whole blended family, everybody has to respect the rules or the parameters of this family.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Go ahead.
So,
go ahead.
I was watching something, and they were talking about, it was the I don't remember what it was, but it was the lady. I don't know if it was a movie or reality show. I don't know. But the lady was with her family, and they were talking about, his daughter. You know what I'm saying? And she was allowing it. Yeah. She was allowing them to say, his daughter. You talking about, and I said that, and I was like, you talking about your husband's daughter? What you mean his daughter?
Yeah,
no, that's y'all's daughter.
Yeah,
Don't do
hey,
that.
man.
Never make a kid feel like you dealing
You
with
just
them
part of the
only
you
because
just here.
of the parent.
Yeah,
their
you just
their
here.
parent.
Man,
and I'm like, you cannot do that because
that stuff
is going
ruffle
to
my
ruin
feathers, man. Yes,
that
indeed.
child in
Yes, it
ways
does.
that you can't even fix.
Because you got to look at it too, man. It's almost like a double. It's almost like a double whammy in the sense of the mother, the biological mother and father didn't work for whatever reason, so that didn't work, and then now she's added or he's added another person into their life, and then that didn't work.
Yes.
For some kids, some kids might look at it like, okay, that's just what mama or daddy, did. They might not be good in relationships. Some kids feel like I'm the reason.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? If I wouldn't have been here, they would have worked out.
Jesus.
And man, it's a lot deeper than that, man.
But you know what? A lot of the times we feel like we don't have to have those conversations with kids.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? But kids are a lot smarter a lot of the times than we give them credit for. You know what I'm saying? And we feel like, okay, well, they a child. I don't have to talk to that child. I don't have to deal with that child. I don't have to have no conversation with that child. You absolutely do.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like you have to have that conversation with that child.
Yeah.
Don't keep treating them like that because that stuff is generational.
Yeah.
And they'll pass that stuff. Well, this is the way my stepdaddy treated me.
Yeah.
And now I'm your stepdaddy, so I'm gonna treat you the way that I was treated because that's all I know.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
And
We
that
gotta
ain't the case.
stop doing that. We gotta break that. We gotta end that cycle.
Yeah.
It's time to end that cycle of stepchildren, generations upon generations feeling like outsiders to the family.
Yeah.
It's time to break that cycle.
Yeah, and like I said, it's a lot that come along with it. I was touching on the whole. People have to understand the dynamics of your relationship, and in the sense of, there are instances where the kids and the biological parents might have a pretty good relationship, or they might be working on a relationship or whatever. But even with that biological parent has to respect our blended family, in the sense of you can't come in and try to tear something up or break something up, or now that you see, because I've seen a lot of times, man.
I'm seeing it with one of my friends right now.
Yeah, you see, okay, you didn't want her or you didn't want him. Now they're in a relationship and they're happy and they're successful, and now you want to jump back in and be, I'm dead. I'm the real one, and No, you gotta respect it. You gotta
do this
understand
to my
that.
child.
Yeah, I've seen it happen so many times, man, and it brought a serious strain on the relationship, especially when the other person or the biological parents wasn't willing to set those guidelines. Hey, yes, you are, but this is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I have yet to have that conversation with my son's biological father. I pray that it could be a productive, conversation. I pray it could be. I know eventually we'll have to have one, but I hope that it's productive because, like that, I don't want to get way out the way with it, but don't do that because that's my son. I know, I get it, but that's me. Like all he ain't never been what his last name is. He always been a sibling, and everybody know that. So,
but he said that when Jamarlin was younger.
Yeah,
an instance where when we had came back from Japan visiting, and we had came back from Japan visiting, and I brought him over there to see his dad and his dad's people, and he said, "Hey, son." And Jamarlin asked him, he said, I can remember this like it was yesterday. Jamarlin asked him, he was like, "Who are you?"
Yeah.
He was like, "I'm your daddy." And Jamarlin was like, my daddy was at my granny house.
Yeah.
And he got mad at first, but then I was amazed at the fact that he was able to come back and say, "You know what? You're right. Y'all, I get it. That's who he knows." And I told him, I said, I'll never take away that you're his biological father. I'll never take that away from you because I can't.
Not at all.
But that's just the dynamic.
You just gotta understand it. You have to respect it. Yeah. I mean, because we've seen. I'll even say this because I don't mind bragging on people, man, that I've seen. It was hard at first, and now they got it right. Like the Anthonys and the Gastons. Like it blessed my soul, man, to watch. How Tiffany and but it blessed my heart to see how they have when Anthony's in town, they come to church with the Gastons. And these are two, step parents. They have a daughter, involved. But man, Kelsey gets so much love. Kelsey gets so much love from both sides, man. And even Rob had to have a conversation with her stepfather, and they have a great relationship. They got a great understanding. Tanisha and Tiffany had to have a talk, and they got a great relationship and a great understanding. And in the end, Kelsey is the beneficiary of all of it, man, because she got brothers and she got a brother and sisters, and she got all this love and all, you know what I mean? And that creates for a healthy environment.
Absolutely.
It creates for a healthy child. And I'm telling y'all, man, we got to.
Not even just Kelsey. It's even the children that Rob and Tanisha have together, and that Tanisha has Tamara.
Absolutely.
Like they're seeing all this and they're comprehending all, because that might be their situation one day.
It might
and they
be.
Can say, well, I saw what Mama and Daddy,
how they handled it, how they did it.
Yeah.
And prayerfully, man, prayerfully, man, I pray that my kids, that they married their wife, and this is the only husband or husband, and that's the only person that they have children with. But if that's not the case, I got to be mindful of how I model it. We have to be mindful of how we model it. As a church, we have to be mindful of how we model it. We got to make sure that we're doing the right things, because it's bigger than us, man. The responsibility of raising healthy kids don't just fall on one or two people. It falls on everybody that's attached and associated with their child.
Absolutely.
So when we talk about blended families, there's a place for us that we're serious about, that we're passionate about, because we live in it. We live in it, man, and we try to instill that. So, man, fellas, I say this from a man point of view, man, fellas, if you have a stepdaughter, please, man, do what you can to make sure that young lady knows what genuine love is.
She should have two loving fathers.
Absolutely, man. Make sure without a doubt, man. Hug her. Love on her, man. Do everything that you can to let her know without a doubt, man, I'm your daddy. I'm going to be here. I ain't going nowhere. This ain't no one-time thing. This ain't no temporary, I'm
with your mama.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah.
You got me. If you need, I got. And if I got, you need. It's all gonna work itself out.
Absolutely.
So we got to be mindful of that, man. I mean, this week we're going to touch on a whole lot more when it comes to blended families.
Good morning.
But we got to make sure that we establish some good groundwork. And again, the establishment starts here.
Absolutely.
And if you guys happen to be dating, ask questions. Ask the tough questions. Ask the questions that you think, will run a person off. That is the question that you need to ask.
Wow.
Bottom line.
Rashida said, we are finally there. I will admit I hated my son's father for disappearing for 10 years, but I had to think of my son. Now we all work together to keep him in line.
Absolutely.
And that's the thing we have to forgive. If you are the parent, you know what I'm saying, like Rashida, if you are the parent that had to step away from the relationship because I tried to make it work with Jamarlin's dad because that was his dad.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I couldn't continue to take everything that was going on in the relationship. You
Absolutely.
know what I'm saying? But I had to get to a point where I had to forgive him, because I can't walk around with bitterness in my heart, because I'll end up spewing that on the ones that are around me, which is my husband and my 3 children. You know what I'm saying? So we have to get to a point where we can allow the bitterness and the resentment to subside.
Absolutely.
Because your family will pay for that. You know
Absolutely.
what I'm saying?
Eventually, in the long run, they will.
Yeah.
Eventually, in the long run, they will. So, man, let's do everything that we can to keep modeling what this thing looks like, what this blended family thing looks like, what it's supposed to be, how it's supposed to work. And even if, like, for instance, like Miss Laura and Mike, yeah, her family, her kids are adults for the most part, but you still have to take the time to establish their relationship. You know what I mean?
You know what? Even from the grandparent aspect.
Absolutely, man.
Those are not your kids, but they have kids. Those are your grandkids.
They're my grandkids.
And I love the way, when I look at their family, how Mr. Mike is with the grandkids.
Absolutely.
I love that. That is absolutely
they call him Pawpaw. That's Pawpaw baby.
That's how our kids were with Pierre.
Absolutely.
They can't tell the difference.
Absolutely. And if they see Pierre now, man, it's still the same. It's the same love. It's, because he was there, man. Yes. And like I say, I've seen it done wrong. I've seen it done right. And, you know for what it is, man. He's an excellent stepfather. He just is, man.
Absolutely.
He loved my kids unequivocally, without a doubt. Still buy them Christmas presents and stuff like that, man, because that's just the relationship that they have. So, man, if you do it right, man, your kids can be in a cocoon of love. They can be wrapped in a whole web of nothing but love, man. And you got a better shot. I can't say your kids will come out perfect, but you got a better shot of producing some great kids if they surrounded by love. If you got a bunch of adults that's gonna act like adults and not use the kids as pieces in the game and pawns and all that stuff. You gotta be adults. You gotta be adults about it, man. The child didn't actually come here. Let's have an honest conversation.
But you made a choice to marry that person.
Absolutely.
With the child.
Yeah. So let's talk about it. And again, I said in the dating part of it, man, make sure that you have those conversations. Hey, look, how do you feel about kids? Do you even, the tough stuff. Ask them that, because if they get up and run and don't talk, you would much rather them end it in the beginning than to keep going along and they give you all this false hope and all that stuff, and then you come to find out that they don't really love your kids like they said they did or they said they would or whatever. Make them, man, hold their feet to the fire. Make them prove it.
Absolutely.
Make them prove it. I didn't have no problem. There were times that I would have Jamarlin when she would work, and I'm all around the city. But hey, who is that? That's my son. Because that's just how I felt, and like I said, I turned my negative into a positive. Yes. It wasn't done right with me all the time, and so because it wasn't done right with me all the time, when I got an opportunity to do it myself, I made sure that hey man, under no uncertain circumstances, that's the case. Go ahead.
So I have a blended family, and it can be challenging at times. I have 2 daughters. My husband has from a previous marriage. They are good kids, but sometimes the understandings get misunderstood.
Yeah, but it has to be that conversation, that blended that conversation between y'all, between husband and wife. It has to be, and then once y'all get an understanding, then y'all can go ahead and convey what it is to the kids. Mm-hmm. But it has to first be an understanding between the two of y'all. Hey, you know what? Yeah, we're married. Yeah, this is this is your stepmother, but in this house, she's mama.
We don't see step.
Ain't no step.
But that's a whole nother direction. That can be a little bit difficult for kids to call somebody else mama. Yeah. That was difficult for me.
Do the work. Because at first, I'll be honest with you, at first, even though I had been around your mother, at first he was calling me Ronnie.
Mr. Ronnie.
He would call me Mr. Ronnie at first. He like when he first started talking.
I wouldn't, because he had to make that decision on his own. Yes. I didn't want to force that on him.
Not at all. And so, I didn't force it on him. No. I didn't force it on him. I really didn't. And because like I said, Joanna was 3, before we got married. And so he would call me Mr. Ronnie. And then one day, I remember it like it was yesterday. I went to pick him up from school, from daycare when we was in Japan. I went to pick him up, and he said, "Daddy, what we eating today?" And I was like, "Oh man, we finna go grab some," and that was it. Like it and I know it's been that way ever since, man. So
Nicole said, "Too many people accept people who don't accept their kids because they don't want to be alone."
Absolutely, and it ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. That stuff will jump back and bite you in the behind in the long run.
Another conversation.
Yeah, that seems like something we're gonna have to do a church. We're gonna dedicate a church service to. But this is a
that's real.
It's a hot topic, man. That I see a lot of families that could be a whole lot better, man, if they just had a great understanding and if they talked about it instead of just assuming that everybody knows or I already get it or I know what my role is or I know how far I can go or whatever. It's gotta be a great understanding, man. It's gotta be some conversation. Hey, man, look. We rolling, we way past time.
I know, I'm super late.
Look, man, we gonna keep rolling with this subject tomorrow, man. Invite all your friends, all your homies, all the couples that have blended families, man. Tell them to tune into the Marriage Builders, man, this week, man, because we talking about it's all about the kids, it's all about blended families, and we're gonna make sure that we do everything we can to try to shed some light on it. What?
Yes.
What you said?
Sophia said, "I told the oldest I don't see step in that because you are mine.
Yeah.
Once I married your dad."
Yeah.
I said to her that I may not be your biological mom, but I am an influencing adult in your life.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. And let her know you got to, Sophia, establish that relationship with her. Take her out, not you, her, and the dad, just you and her.
Yes.
Take the time to do the groundwork to establish that relationship. And it's going to make everything a whole lot easier. It's going to make everything a lot better. It's going to make it easier when you have to bring down discipline, because she knows it's coming from a genuine place.
Yes,
she knows that you love her. And I ain't just telling you this because I'm mad at your daddy. I'm telling you this because I love you and I want to see you do better. So do the groundwork, man. We got too many families that don't want to do the groundwork. Too many men and women that don't want to do the groundwork. What Tiffany said?
This is little. This little. I love the relationship Kelsey has with Tanisha.
Absolutely. And it's genuine, man. Like, if I'm telling y'all, man, if y'all got a chance to see it, it is absolutely genuine.
The Webbers, Ken, Nicole.
Yeah, Ken and Nicole.
Jalen and Jordan.
Yeah,
you know,
man, you should have seen it. It did my heart so good, man. I know you guys. I gotta go, but it did my heart so good when we had our Father's Day getaway.
Yes.
When we had our Father's Day getaway, and Nicole came to pick Ken up from the store, when they got out the car, all three of them ran to Ken, and the first thing they said was, "She ain't been feeding us." He said, "Don't worry about it, son. We're gonna go eat now." But it did my heart good, man, because we got men that's trying, man. When you see a man,
there are a lot. We could always point out the ones that aren't trying.
Yeah, man.
Let's
celebrate the ones that's trying to do it right, trying to get it right, man. That's trying to, instill some stuff in these kids, man. But it was beautiful, man. I love to see that, man. I love to see how Tiffany interact with Aiden and Shariah
and Javathan with
Javathan with Miracle and Dee, man. It's just it's a beautiful thing. Miracle.
Now, we also see the other side.
Yeah,
we see we just choose not to focus on
the dysfunction.
Oh God, we just choose not to focus.
Absolutely, man. I just think good conversation, good communication will help all that out. But look, y'all, let's pray real quick, man, because we rolling. Lord God, thank you. Thank you, Father, for everything that you do. Father, right now, we thank you for grace and mercy.
Yes, Lord.
Father, we haven't always done everything right. We haven't always followed your plan to the T. God. But I thank you that grace and mercy is available. And Father, that you've already forgiven us. And if you've forgiven us, Father, yes, more than the world against us. I thank you, Father, for every blended family. Father, continue to strengthen us all, Father. Help us to make the best decisions that we can for the whole family, for the entire family. Strengthen the individual relationships of the blended family, Father, that everybody understands and knows that love is the core of everything that we do. Yes, strengthen all of us, God. Help us to be everything that you called us to be. Help us to maximize this beautiful day that you've given us. We thank you in advance, and we give you all the praise, honor, and glory. In Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. And amen again.
I want to do a blended family collage now.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Okay.
Yeah, got a lot going on, you wonderful people.
But we gonna say I'm so into this that I left my purse at home. We sorry.
Our bad. Hey man, we still rolling with the whole thing, man. We're gonna talk about raising and discipline and all that stuff, man, because I think it's just one of those subjects that we kind of shy away from. But there's a lot of people that just need help. That need to talk about it, need an outlet, man. So we're gonna do everything that we can. What did Linda say before we get out of here?
Good morning, y'all. Tuned in late, but Lord knows I know how this feels. It was hard becoming a step parent, but now I wouldn't have it no other way. Love y'all. Continue, please. Much needed topics.
Absolutely. Thank y'all, man. Thank y'all so much, man. Share it. Invite your friends. 805, we back in the game. Yeah.
But that was, oh wow.
Yeah.
She said a conference, a blended family conference. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey.
Story.
It might be needed, man.
Wow.
Let's talk.
Amen.
Let's talk.
Amen. So we love y'all. Y'all have a great day on purpose. In purpose, please share if you haven't shared already. Share with your friends. Share with your loved ones. Let's get this whole thing, blended families, fixed thing. Let's work on it. I'm sorry.
Boy, we lost track of time.
Well, we love y'all. We thank y'all. And we absolutely appreciate each and every one of y'all. So, y'all have a great day on purpose, in purpose. And remember, I love you as only Pastor L can.
Hashtag is bigger than me. Hashtag I'm an impactor. Hashtag moving forward. Hashtag no rearview mirrors. Hashtag this. All of it is worth fighting for. And the biggest hashtag of them all, you wonderful people, don't just live,
Make an impact.
Hey, man, love y'all so much, man. In the meantime, in between time, it'll be later.
Impactors, we have prayer tonight.
6. Be there, be square.
It sounded like you almost forgot the time.
Yeah. I was thinking about Wednesday night.
Okay. Bye.
Anywho.
Love y'all.
Love y'all, man. It'll be later.
Amen.